Hey you guys, today we are going to make the unicorn hair bow. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and run the placement stitching. All right, the next step in the sequence is to do the placement stitching for the horn. And I did this one separately, that way in case you wanted to make the horn a different color, which in this case I'm going to do in pink, you're able to do that step. But if you want to run all of them the same color, you can run the next two stitches together. I'm going to let it go ahead and move on to the next step because I'm just going to be adding the top gold stitching to the horn. Alright, the next step is the white. So if you made all of it white, including the horn, you can go ahead and just continue on with your white thread. I made the horn a different color, so I am moving on now to my white, and I just covered, my whole frame here with white glitter vinyl. Just on the top here, it's going to do a placement stitching. Okay, so after the placement stitching for the white portion, so the actual bow and the tails, it's going to then go into the black. It's not going to do a placement stitching for the center part of the bow because you really don't need another stitch out there. So I just have a final stitch on that part, but you do need to make sure that your vinyl covers that area. So go ahead and put your black in, and let's do the black part. Alright, so the black part, the eyes and the ears got finished, and now I am putting my felt piece on the back. I'm going to put some 505 spray to keep this down, and then I'm going to put my hoop back on the machine to finish up the last two steps. Alright, so it's going to first stitch out the horn, the outline, the final outline of the horn. If you want your horn and the rest of it to be the same color, you would just run the next two steps together. So my two steps were separated because my horn is gold and the rest of it is white. So I'm now going to run my final stitch, which is just the white stitching around the bow, the center portion, and the tail. Alright, so I cut out all the pieces to our unicorn. It's just 4 pieces. So we're going to start with this center bow portion with the ears facing up. We're going to put our dot of hot glue here on the tip and come into the very center and hold and press down. Doing the same thing on the other side until those two meet there in the middle. And then I like to clamp this down with a clip of some kind to hold it together to make sure it gets a really strong bond. Alright, so we have finished up this portion of the bow. It's ready to go. And then we're going to take our tail portion, which in this particular file is all one piece to make it easy. I'm going to put glue on this part here. Center your bow up. and then press down. And I would clamp here again for a minute or two just to get a really tight bond with the top and the bottom portion of the bow. Since we're going to move on, there's the back side. Now you're going to take your center portion, put your glue right here in the center of your bow, and then take your center and hold that down and let that connect. Now I like to go over the top with this one first since we're adding the horn. So I'm going to bend it over and hold it down, and when the two pieces of felt connect, it'll give it a really tight connection there. Before I put this piece around, I'm going to take my unicorn horn and glue a little bit here on this part, centering my horn and pushing that down.
I have something.
And the reason I do that is so when this part comes up and around, it can catch the top of the horn. That way it gives it so this part doesn't fall off at all. So glue on that last part and come around and connect it to the actual horn. Alrighty, so there is our completed bow. Now you would just add your attachment piece and put it in the hair. Super cute. Thanks for watching.